Hello Brewtubers, and welcome to what was supposed to be my Victorian Beer Festival 2020, alas sadly cancelled for obvious reasons. However, I thought I'd mark the occasion by wearing a tall hat and by drinking some of my Old London Porter, which is a beer I make inspired by the Victorian porters of London from the 19th century, so I thought that was probably a fitting beer to mark the occasion, since I didn't actually brew any beer for this beer festival, as I knew something like this would happen. So I thought, well, I'm not going to risk brewing 3 or 4 Victorian beers only to not be able to serve them. So yes, anyway, here we are. So yes, had a Victorian Beer Festival last year, the first Victorian one I held. The year before that was like a Star Wars themed winter beer festival, and yeah, we had good fun last year at the Victorian Beer Festival. Played parlour games such as Snapdragon, which is absolutely insane. Basically you get a dish, you put in brandy and you put in raisins, you set fire to the brandy and you have to then eat the raisins. Brandy infused raisins are very tasty. However, the smell of singed finger hairs perhaps not so pleasant, but actually a very fun game. Very fun game, absolutely mad. Would never pass any health and safety laws today, but damn it, it was good fun. So yes, you know, played Snapdragon, and last year I brewed 4 Victorian beers. I think it was I don't remember all the exact ones, but there was an IPA. This was a smash beer actually. That was just Marisotta and East Kent Goldings. Very nice. I think that came in about 5% thereabouts. Then I did I think it was a Reed London Porter. Very good that was. 6% thereabouts I think. That was the most popular beer of the beer festival. My Imperial Stout, which I actually brewed for the Winter Beer Festival the year before, but then didn't actually serve because it wasn't ready, so I had that, and I brewed an 1888 Tennent's lager beer, which was actually very, very tasty. I enjoyed that. Looked like bloody emulsion when you were making it because of all the flaked rice, but it actually cleared quite nicely, and yeah, it was a very pleasant beer actually. As a train goes by, you will get train interruptions, seeing as the railway track is down there. Speaking of trains, that is a lithograph they call them, or well, I don't know, print of a Watford Tunnel being built, which is about 200 metres in that direction, I suppose. Perhaps a little bit more. So yes, anyway, that's the background stories, things, whatever. So yes, no Victorian Beer Festival this year, but let's mark the occasion. I have my tankard and my bottle of Old London Porter, my saucy lady bottle opener to rub her breasts for good luck. We don't really, but anyway. And then just give that open. Nice little bit of cannon smoke. As you can see, it is starting to go a bit fizzy. I couldn't really sell this because although it doesn't kick the trub up from the bottom, and it doesn't gush, it's just very, very foamy when you pour it. You know, so if you pour it, you got to sort of do it in several goes because it would just foam up like you wouldn't believe. Anyway, so I managed to. This is actually slightly full already. This is the second bottle. I'm just topping up, but I just wanted to open a bottle for dramatic effect because, well, why not? So can't really see the beer because it's in a pewter tank and you can't see through pewter. But it's a nice creamy beige head. This is dark reddish black beer. Well, you know what porter looks like, don't you? That was good. It's good. The Old London Porter is by far the most popular beer I sell, I reckon. It's the one I'm most proud of, the one I'm happiest with. Yeah, I'm brewing it again tomorrow. Yes, I said I probably could sell this batch. Probably could, because it isn't it just takes time to pour it. You know, there's nothing actually wrong with the beer apart from the foaming up issue. You know, it doesn't gush, it doesn't kick the sediment up. It tastes fine, tastes lovely. In fact, it tastes like dark chocolate digestive biscuits. So very biscuity, and a roasted maltiness reminiscent of dark chocolate. It's not, I suppose you could say coffee, but it's more dark chocolate than coffee in my opinion. But yeah, I think of it as a dark chocolate digestive biscuit. Yeah, but very good beer that. So I'm going to be brewing this again tomorrow. Half of it is going to go in a 4.5 gallon tin cask, and I'll flog that to one of the local bottle shops. Obviously they're still doing like draft takeouts, draft beer takeouts, cask beer takeouts, and I know that they are struggling to get through the 9 gallon ones as much, because also they only have like a 4 or 5 day shelf life once opened. So I think they'll probably relish the idea of only having to sell 4.5 gallons. You know, the beer will keep fresher for longer, that sort of thing. So half of it's going to go in the cask and half of it will be bottled. But I am changing my bottling method. So previously a bottle condition, but I've had lots of troubles with bottle conditioning. So as I said, this one's quite foamy. The previous batch was good gusher. The strawberries and cream is a bit too carbonated. The peated beer was a little bit of a gusher. So yeah, I've not had many successes in the bottle conditioning department. You know, they're all right for the first couple of weeks, but then after like 3 or 4 weeks they start going mad. So I'm going to try keg conditioning and then bottling from keg. So I've brought myself a Bleichmann beer gun, and hoping that will solve my problems and make my bottles more stable. So we shall have to see how that goes. But yes, yeah, this is pretty much the best I can do for Victorian Beer Festival 2020. Hopefully next year's one will be better. All my beer festivals got scuppered this year for obvious reasons, which I'm quite sad about. I'm going to have a good knees up for Easter. I was going to brew some wartime recipes to celebrate 75th anniversary of the end of the war. So yeah, it all went down the pan. What a waste of a year, really. Never mind. Never mind. Next year, hopefully, should be better. For various reasons, I won't be in my main job next year. So the brewing side of thing I'm going to be ramping up, just concentrating on. So obviously I have more time for marketing, promotion, actually making the beer, labelling, bottling, selling, you know, actually have time to invest in it. And I'll see if I can get some part-time work elsewhere as well, just to keep the money rolling in. But yeah, I mean, hoping to make something of this brewing game. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is a good, stable, steady beer. And the strawberries and cream one I brewed seems to have gone down very well. I need to be selling some of that this weekend, actually. So yeah, strawberries and cream's gone down well, so I need to rebrew that. Yeah, so I just need to make a few tweaks, a few adjustments to a few of the recipes, and obviously my presentation as well, in terms of bottle conditioning, what I've just mentioned. And then I think I'll be doing quite well. So yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully 2021 will be rather good for the old Bowtie Brewers Brewery. Yes, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah. And hopefully next year I can have the beer festivals once we're all vaccinated and COVID free, and social gatherings can take place again. But yes, you know, fingers crossed, and let's hope things will get back to some form of normality at the end of the day. Yes, anyway. Keep drinking and keep smiling, and before you know it, we'll be over the horizon and hopefully looking at a brighter, better future. How sad. How sad of me. How corny. Cheesy, perhaps, is the more appropriate term, but I'm rambling now. I am rambling. So yes. I'm going to leave it there because I haven't really got much more to say. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all again for the next video. I'm not sure what that might be. I probably won't film Brew Day tomorrow because I think you've seen me do the old London Porter about 3 or 4 times already now, so there's not much point showing me do that again. The previous beer I made, the Autumn Ale or Red Ale, wherever it was supposed to be, I'll see what it's like once it's carved up. From the fermenter, it's a bit, I don't know yet. I don't know. So we'll see what it turns out like once I've actually, when it's actually ready to drink. So it's a bit of an odd one. But yeah, the next video might be, what am I going to brew next? Fancy doing the limoncello wheat beer, actually. That could be very popular. When I made it for the last 2 occasions, I actually put a bottle of limoncello in the beer, but can't do that, as if you put an alcoholic beverage in a beer, then you have to pay it at spirits rate or something like that, the duty, so it becomes ridiculously expensive. So the plan is to use some lemon flavouring syrup and see how that goes. So yes, that might be my next brew day. I need to brew some Peter's beer as well because I've had some requests for some bottles of that, but I haven't made that in months. So plenty to do. And yes, I said I was going to finish the video and I carried on rambling, didn't I? That's really bad on me. So I'm going to finish there. I'm happy and merry, and yes, goodbye.